Thank you, Acting Speaker. And before I move to the bill, I just want to make a bit of a comment about an incident that occurred this afternoon out at Exford, down at Melton South. Around about 3:45, there was a bus accident, a bus and a truck accident with about 30 school children involved. The bus rolled. There have been 8 children transported to hospital in serious condition. A number of other kids have injuries but stabilised and still on scene. I know all of us from this chamber extend our sympathies to the kids and wish them well, but also to the teaching staff that are all on scene, both from the Exford Primary School but also from the Amesbury Primary School, and of course to all the parents. We're thinking of them right now, and we hope that their kids are safe and mend quickly, and our thoughts and prayers are with that school and with those families. So thank you. I'll move on to speak about the Gambling Regulation Amendment Bill 2023, and the bill will amend the Gambling Regulation Act 2003 to allow the award of multiple wagering and betting licences and to remove the no less favourable industry funding requirement for wagering and betting licences. I want to make reference and pick up on what the member for Albert Park made comments about, and that was about addiction to gambling, alcohol and food. And I tick all those boxes. I thought she was talking about me when she made that reference. But anyway, I certainly make sure that I enjoy myself, I'll tell you that now. I'd like to acknowledge and thank the Minister for Racing and of course the Minister for Casino, Gambling and Liquor Regulation and all the stakeholders involved in our fantastic racing industry. And of course Melton is the home of Tabcorp Park, which is a world-class harness racing and entertainment facility. And I've been to many excellent community events at this facility and also to many racing events, harness racing events. Tabcorp Park consists of a 1,040-metre harness racing track. It has a hotel, a conference facility, function rooms, 300-seat bistro, sports bar and a TAB and gaming room. It hosts around about 80 race meetings per year, as well as concerts, corporate functions and other events. And of course Harness Racing Victoria recognised Melton as the most attractive region for this facility because of our population growth, being well placed for the land, and of course because we are home to the highest proportion of standard breeds in Victoria. So Tabcorp Park is an incredible facility. It's an asset in our community, and that's why in May 2022 the Andrews Labor Government Victorian Racing Industry Fund provided more than $1.63 million to upgrade Tabcorp Park. And of course the harness racing industry in Victoria generates $600 million for the economy, and it helps sustain around about 4,300 jobs. And of course Victoria needs the racing industry for the economy, for the jobs, and to allow us to have a great day out at the races. And in fact, it was only about 2 weeks ago that I was at Tabcorp Park with the Racing Minister, Minister Carbines, opening up the new Owners Lounge, which is a great facility that we've contributed funding to. And this lounge is for the owners of harness horses when they have a win at Tabcorp Park. And it's a beautiful lounge for them to relax and enjoy their winnings. So it was a great facility to open up only a couple of weeks ago. Of course, over the years, I've been to many races on many race tracks all over the state and also interstate, and I love the races of all kinds, thoroughbreds, harness and the greyhounds, and they're all very entertaining. I'm sure all of us here have, or most of us here have placed a bet on a race meeting, and in particular probably the Melbourne Cup, where we've all engaged in either betting on the Melbourne Cup or been in Melbourne Cup sweeps. And of course some of us have been more successful than others, and I can say I have never been successful in betting on the races. It's probably why I've ended up in Parliament. So anyway, we've had our moments over the years. So again, I say I've been to many race meetings in both country Victoria and metropolitan Melbourne racetracks, and I find the facilities terrific. That doesn't mean to say we can't upgrade some facilities in some local regional areas. I find the hospitality amazing. and of course the families that are involved in racing. It's a fantastic industry for families to get involved with, and we know that in regional areas racing is a family matter in rural and regional areas, and it's fantastic for the local regional community and economy. And of course Victoria leads the way with our racing industry, even though a number of other states are trying to take our mantle, and good luck to them, but I think they're a long way off from trying to do so. Of course, in Victoria, land-based wagering and betting can only be conducted under a licence issued by the Minister for Casino, Gaming and Liquor Regulation. And this licence allows a business to conduct wagering and approved betting competitions. Unlike businesses located elsewhere in Australia, who can only accept Victorian bets online and by phone. And the Victorian licensee can also accept bets on racecourses and through an off-course retail network like a pub or a standalone agency. And I'm sure we've all, not all, but a lot of us have been into the old TABs, and now they're all modernised now in these big gaming places and eateries that go along with them. And I know that there are some in Melton at the Melton Country Club, the two hotels, Max and the Golden Fleece, and then of course Tabcorp Park are set up for these types of quite different agencies than what they were previously, like the old TABs, where you'd walk in and there'd be 1,000 tickets on the ground from all the losses. But anyway, now they're all modernised and electronic, so it's quite different. So for almost 11 years, Tabcorp has held the single permitted wagering and betting licence in Victoria, and in light of this licence expiring in August 2024, we need to amend the Act to support the issuing of a new licence. And we've been given the opportunity to have a think about what's best for our state, our economy, and anyone engaging in wagering and betting. So instead of the single wagering and betting licence permitted at one time, the bill will allow the Minister to exercise discretion and determine how many licences can be issued in Victoria, and similar to how the public lottery licence and Keno licences operate. This will ensure the licence will maximise value to the state by attracting greater interest in the licence. So in addition to this, the issuing of a licence will include an exclusive period, and this means that the government would not be able to issue another licence during that period. And for example, the government could issue one licence for a term of 20 years with an exclusivity period of 10 years, and after this 20-year period, the government could issue additional licences. So as it stands, the Act states that the Minister must ensure that the licence applicant has made arrangements with the Victorian racing industry before granting a licence application to ensure that the licence holder has an agreement with the Victorian racing industry. And that is no less favourable than the previous licensee's agreement. The no less favourable requirement arose from the concerns of the Victorian racing industry, given the introduction of gaming machines in Victoria and the concurrent privatisation of the Victorian TAB. And this was around about 30 years ago. Of course, with the introduction of gaming machines, we've seen the introduction and the increase of addiction. And I do have some concerns about the access to gaming machines. I've always said that in Melton, anyone that's in a gaming den after midnight is either an addict or they're so desperate to get a drink into themselves, then it's the only place that you can go. I can never understand why some of our clubs and pubs have extended their licence to allow gaming to go to 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning. That can't be any good for anyone, and I would have thought that the majority of people that are in those places after midnight are addicted to gambling, and we should be doing something more to stop that. And I'm supportive of having limits that can be pushed into those machines, and I think we need to deal with that in a far more stronger way. Anyway, this bill is an important bill for our state. I do thank the Minister and her staff in regard to this bill. I do commend this bill to the House, and I wish everyone well in their future gambling. Thank you.